In our first story, the managing director of the bulk oil storage transportation company, BOST, has been interrogated by the police over death threats allegations made by the executive director of the Chimel Petroleum Consumers, COPEC. The BOST MD, Alfred Obing-Boating, spent some time at the Tema Region Police Command on Tuesday, together with his accuser, Duncan Amoah. The Tema Region Police Commander, Nana Asumahine, tells JoyNews that death threat is linked to claims by COPEC that BOST has caused some financial loss to the state over the sale of its stocks of crude oil at some discounted prices.
The case was filed at the regional CID. The complainant came to the regional CID to make a complaint, and the man was invited.
Was invited today?
Yes.
Formally in a letter?
In a letter. We sent a letter to him to come.
And he's made himself available?
Yes, it's available as of now. Right now, it's available.
Okay, so he's been questioned. Is that what it is?
Interrogated, yes.
He's been interrogated.
Yes.
I was wondering if Mr. Duncan provided any evidence to back his claims.
That is why they are there now. He just said, "You complain, all right. I can come and complain to anybody that you have insulted me or assaulted me. We invite you. That's when we come there. We interrogate them. We know the way forward."
Beyond today, is there any further investigations you want to carry on to this?
No, it depends on what happens today.
So it's possible that if there's no evidence, this might simply end after today's meeting?
Sure.
You haven't charged anybody with anything yet?
No. Not for charging is far away. We are not investigating. We only charge somebody when we are ready to go to court.
Did Mr. Duncan indicate in what form he was threatened?
By word of mouth.
He was told that he was going to be killed?
Yeah, so he was eliminated.
He will be eliminated by word of mouth?
Yes.
And he says this person who issued this threat is directly the head of the bulk oil storage company?
That's what he's claiming.
And the bulk oil storage transportation company has meanwhile dispelled claims of causing financial loss to the state. The company is said to have sold some 1.8 million barrels of the commodity to a company called BB Energy in a transaction the Chimel Petroleum Consumers says cost the state some 23 million Ghana cedis. Addressing a news conference, the head of fuel trade at BOST, Alfred Mante, said the quantity of crude sold to the company at discounted prices was rather 942,000 barrels.
Executive Secretary of the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, Duncan Amoah, has had serious issues with the transaction between BOST and BB Energy and vowed to petition the office of a special prosecutor and Yoko over the matter.
BOST went selling at a time that prices were going up on the world market. BOST was the only company across the world that was selling crude for lower, than the benchmark. BOST was the only company across the world that would agree to sell crude at a discount of $2, not $1. And then you find a sale having been carried out as we speak. Even the amount for $54 that was agreed to be paid, not everything has been settled 5-6 months down the line. So there are losses across the chain. And we think that the special prosecutor must be interested in this one. Yoko must be interested in this one. The police CID must be interested in this one.
But BOST, at a news conference on Tuesday, forced off the allegations disputing the amount of crude oil sold in the transaction.
Whenever we bring crude into the country, we generate what we call out-time reports. This is the way it looks. It's signed by the ship captain. It's signed by the inspectorate. It's signed by the buyer rep. It's signed by the seller rep. It's signed by an independent person doing the quality test. This is it. The product that came in, I'm talking about not the one we sold, the actual product that came in was around 945,000 thereabout. No, that was what was sold. You have to understand something in this industry. It's not cement. So if you bring 5, you cannot take out 5. It's liquid that passes through pipes that we use certain things to determine the quantity, okay? So the quantity that came in was around 945 and so, but the quantity that we sold was around 942. 100,000 because that is what is called pumpable. It means that if you put it in this water, you want it pumped back, you can't have access to everything. Okay? So that is what went. So the question is, if the quantity that came in was 940, how do you sell 1.8? How do you sell 1.8? You see, so these are baseless accusations. Baseless.
Albert Mante noted BOST did no wrong in selling the crude to BB Energy at the discounted $2 as claimed by COPEC.
The product is in Ghana. So if they are shipping the product back, they will incur costs to do that. So giving them discount is not out of place to facilitate the movement of the product back to wherever they want to move it.
BOST says the company at the center of a transaction does not require a Ghanaian license to make the purchase for refinery purposes.
There is another allegation he raised that the company was unlicensed. Before I answer that, let me ask you, if any of you buy product to Côte d'Ivoire, to any refinery, anywhere, that you want to refine your product, do you need a license of that country before you can refine your product? I don't think you do. If you buy a product and send it to Côte d'Ivoire to go and refine the product in their refinery, you don't need to register there before you can get your product refined.
Despite the responses, COPEC says it is convinced there were breaches for which the state lost money it could have saved through the transaction. Duncan Amoah insists investigative bodies, IOCO, Special Prosecutor and the police should be interested in probing the transaction.
Well, and it just got started because already the BOST Managing Director, Alfred Obeng-Boateng, has sued the Chief Executive of the Chimel Petroleum Consumers. He's demanding some 5 million Ghana cedis in damages, 2 million cedis for professional reputational damage, 2 million Ghana cedis for social reputational damage, and an extra 1 million Ghana cedis for psychological damages. That's just a breakdown of what's the damages being sought by the BOST MD. Well, leaving no stone unturned on this subject. We'll bring you a lot more right here on the show, but let's move on to Parliament. And the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joe Osei-Wusu, is calling for a shoot-to-kill approach to the fight against illegal mining in Ghana. He says this is the only way to ensure those engaged in these nefarious activities will stop the actions. He was contributing to a statement on the floor of Parliament by the minority MP for Kumbungu, Ras Mubarak, who condemned the recent burning of trucks in his constituency by the military.
I have made some very extreme suggestions. I know people are not happy with that, but regrettably, I don't have the authority. If I had, I would have made the law that if you find people on the water bodies, shoot them. That is what I would have done if I had the authority. That is how recalcitrant those people are. Well, in this country, if you go to some countries, and there are some countries where littering on the street, as recently as in the 60s, if you littered, you were shot in the streets. If you dumped rubbish and they caught you, they shot you. That was the law.
I think there are better ways, and I believe that we should sit together, think through this matter, craft out measures, and solve the problem. It is true that it's difficult to get alternative, better or more rewarding means to get them out of Galamsey. But at the same time, even appealing to their conscience and sitting down and working with them, we can get solutions to these problems. Mr. Speaker, I don't support any Ghanaian killing any Ghanaian. And I don't support the use of force as a means or solution to any problem. There are ways and means of us solving our common problems. The problems are not only for government. These are national challenges, and we must take national decisions. It is not this government that started it. The previous government did the same. Did they succeed? You think you will succeed? Yes. I am telling you, capital no. Unless you change. I am saying that unless you change, there is no way you can succeed in eliminating Galamsey in this country.
So the military went there for the 5th time and decided that they were sending a very strong signal to anybody who decides that they will take the law into their own hands. The information I have is that 8 champagne machines were burnt, 12 tipper trucks were burnt, and 1 excavator. Champagne machines are not used for sign winning. They are used for the illegal mining. And champagne machines are placed on the river body to destroy the water body and be able to get some gold or diamond or whatever they're looking for from there.
Order. The first Deputy Speaker asks a very important question. Who are we loyal to? We are loyal to the laws of Ghana, nothing more. This is not a lawless country. This is not a banana republic. Our loyalty is to the laws of Ghana. And we will not accept the relegation and subjudication of the laws of Ghana to might is right. Might cannot be right. So to the first Deputy Speaker, our loyalty is to the laws of Ghana. That this is a country governed by law. Minister for Defense, be informed that you are not above the laws of Ghana. The armed forces, not above the laws of Ghana. The military, not above the laws of Ghana.
Well, that's more. And the Laura district will be among 28 other districts in Ghana that will be elevated to the status of a municipality come tomorrow. That's Thursday. And the district is the second oldest in the northern parts of the country after the Gombaga district. With a day left for the inauguration of the municipality, residents are bracing themselves up for the opportunities that the new status they have is bringing, and at the same time, challenges. Well, JoyNews Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports from Laura.
41-year-old Bonikun Georgina has been working as a seamstress for the past 15 years. She is a mother of 4 and has 8 apprentices. Over the past years, few apprentices have successfully passed out through her hands in this small shop. Georgina wishes she has more apprentices passing out than she has now. This is difficult because only a few parents can afford the apprenticeship fee. With the elevation of the Laura district to the status of a municipality, Georgina believes a lot of opportunities will be opened for the residents.
There are some children who are at home because their parents cannot pay for them to learn any trade. But with the elevation of the district to municipality, many people will have jobs, thereby reducing not only the unemployment rate in the area, but the armed robbery and other nefarious activities as well.
For the bank manager of the Laura branch of the Ghana Commercial Bank, Jacob Kwame Mwensori, the elevation will boost business in the area.
When they elevate Laura to a municipal status, it means that there will be many more businesses here, and even the construction of buildings and all those things will mean that people will need money. And we do payments, and we can get commissions out of it. So I think our business will grow up. So even recently when they were making roads here, we saw a change. So we are looking forward to something more than that when the municipal status is realized.
Among the many campaign promises made by the new Patriotic Party in the run-up to the 2016 election in the Upper West region was the elevation of the Laura district to the status of a municipality. Leading the charge for the MPP in the Laura constituency was former national youth organizer of the party and parliamentary candidate for the constituency, Anton Inyo Abaifakabo.
It has been long overdue. We have been the first district amongst the first districts in the 3 northern regions under the Northern Territorial Council. Laura district is the oldest district apart from Gambaga. Current estimates indicate that ever since WA was declared a municipal assembly, the poverty levels in that area have reduced drastically. We think that it is important that government looks at the creation of these municipal assemblies as a way of fighting poverty, as a way of bringing all the decentralized government departments to the Lora district. We are strategically positioned in the Lora district. We are closer to the border on both sides.
The Lora district is the second oldest district in the northern part of the country after the Gambaga district. It was established 111 years ago by the colonial administration. Paramount Chief of the Lora traditional area, Napole Cabo III, is extremely happy and grateful to President Akufo-Addo for the elevation of the Lora district to the status of a municipality.
Terribly excited about it. It has always been the wish of the chiefs and people of the Lora traditional area for Lora to be upgraded. We have raised this issue many times at our annual festivals to all politicians over the years, and we always state our claim based on the fact that we are the oldest district and that we have all the government institutions and all the government departments well established in the district. The economy is booming, the town is expanding, and we needed some upgrading so that Lora can take up from there. So we are so excited when, during the visit of His Excellency to Lora last year, he hinted and told me that Lora had been identified as one of the districts to be upgraded to the municipal status. So we are very, very happy.
Even though Napole Cabo III is aware of the opportunities available with the elevation of the district to a status of a municipality, he is equally aware of the challenges involved.
Attitudinally, it's not just a question of being called a municipal assembly, but we should all begin to think like a municipal assembly and act like a municipal assembly. Revenue generation has to be intensified if we are going to spearhead the development of our municipality. So we are definitely aware that there are immense opportunities to be derived by our people. At the same time, we are also aware of the challenges that this upgrading to a municipal assembly will entail. And we, the chiefs, are ready to support the assembly members. We are ready to support government to carry out any development that will come about as a result of raising to municipal status.
A former district chief executive of Lora, George Samisule, said during his tenure, certain structures were put in place towards the elevation of the district to the status of a municipality. He is happy that his hard work has become one of the strongest points for elevation of the district.
Even when I was in office, we started making some structures. For instance, the Divisional Police Command, that is a step to lift Lora to a paramountcy. So the Assembly had that foresight to make Lora a municipality. So we are very, very happy.
The Lora district has a resident population of a little over 63,000. The total employment constitutes 5.1%, while self-employed persons with employee or employees constitutes 1.2%.
Everybody have heard about Dr. Kwame Nkrumah being imprisoned in Lora, but even some of the people within Lora do not know exactly where he was imprisoned. And so we want to develop that site. The chief has taken note of it. I have been in constant discussion with him, and we are going to develop that site very, very soon. That is not the only tourist site in the district. We have the spring at before the bar. We are also going down there to develop that site so that people who come into the district can at least get some tourist sites to go and visit. There are a number of them, the Crocodile Pond at Ermo. We have indeed, as an assembly, taken stock of all tourist sites in the district. All the assembly members in the district have provided information of tourist potentials in their various communities, and the assembly is compiling that list and will soon develop them so that people can take advantage of them when they come into our region.
For the government of the MPP, the elevation of the Lora district to the status of a municipality is a campaign promise well fulfilled. The onus now lies on the people to use the opportunity to work assiduously to reduce the poverty Kogmai the people are wallowing in. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Laura.
And we're also live here in our studios here at Kokomemle. But please do join us as you get interactive on Facebook. You join us on TV. You can also get interactive with us as you watch us live through our channel on YouTube, Majorline TV. Well, I'll be joined by Mama Vio Sobwaji. She's just ready around here, but we have to take a break. When we come back, Mama V and I will be bringing to you the latest newspaper headlines. But do know, after the review of the various online portals, we have the latest sports stories. Benedict will be here telling you about the loss, shocking loss of Manchester United being booted out of the UEFA Champions League by middle league in La Liga, Sevilla.